My name is
Great.
Nighat Shah. I am thrilled to be here today with you all. Before we begin, I would like to thank Ron Adams for arranging this meeting for us. He believed in my work and he came to this screening in Houston. And he has been very instrumental in arranging this meeting with you all, with Broad Meadows leadership, Operation Day's work. We are here because of his tireless work. I'm really grateful to you all for joining us today. Your presence shows your commitment to addressing the issue that Iqbal Masih tirelessly fought against. I want to start by sharing a little about my inspiration to make this movie on Iqbal Masih. First, I created a short film about mental health to raise awareness about mental health. And seeing the success of that film, I was really encouraged to tackle another topic that was closer to my heart, child labor. As many of you know, child labor is like rampant all over the world, not only in Pakistan or some developing countries. So it's like without the awareness, it's really impossible to eradicate child labor from the world. So Iqbal's story with his courage of fighting to help like free thousands of children is heartbreaking and inspiring. His legacy helped save millions of children. This brings us to Gunjal. So we decided to change Iqbal Masih's name to Irfan Masih in the film, but his story is still intact. Maybe you all are aware of the situation of Iqbal Masih's death. His murderer was acquitted after 2 years on
Mhm.
the basis of kind of an accidental death. So his family didn't receive the justice that they supposed to have received. So the film takes viewers deep into Iqbal Masih's lives and his tragic murder through the eyes of a journalist, investigating journalist. Sadly, you'll see what Iqbal went through and what happened during the trials of after his murder. In bringing Gunjal to life, we interviewed many people who knew Iqbal, including his brother. His parents were, of course, not alive. His brother, we interviewed his brother. We interviewed his friend who was an eyewitness to his murder. And while doing all of this, we also realized that child labor is not an isolated issue, it's a global one. Here, we are lucky in the United States to have child labor protection laws that are protecting children from hazardous jobs and all of that. But the thing is, in some of the states in the United States, we are again a little bit regressing by changing these child labor protection laws, including Arkansas, Missouri, and a few other southern surrounding states have passed laws that are not requiring employers to ID the young children. Children come in and can say the child is 16 years old or she's 15 years old. The employers are not required to ID them even when they are 13 years old. They can just hire them. It's kind of like legalizing child labor, in my opinion. So we have to stay as a nation very vigilant. We can go 100 years back in no time and lose all the privileges. So without making you too bored, I really want to give this to my son Sultan. He's your neighbor. He goes to Emerson College in Boston. He's here helping me with this, and this is, please bear with me. This is my very first time I'm doing this Zoom meeting on my own. So let's see. He has some surprise for us. We're gonna show a video of Iqbal Masih from his visit to Broad Meadows Elementary School, and also two clips from the Gunjal movie. So after that, and we can have alumni and some leaders, including Thomas Simons and Catherine Kidder, speak about their experiences. So Sultan, take it from here and show us what you've got.
All right. Hello, guys. Thank you so much for being here. The first thing I'm going to show is it's going to be two clips of Iqbal Masih at spending time at the Broad Meadows Middle School in Quincy. And I'm going to share my sound and play it for you.
We have some big plans for this afternoon, so your visit is not over. But we've learned so much from you that we want to present you with a diploma from our school. We were going to make you an official member of our school, but it's clear that you're so smart that you've graduated already from our school.
ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦਾ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਅਕਲਮੰਦ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ
So congratulations, and there's your diploma. With your diploma comes a Broad Meadows hat. The seagull is the symbol of Broad Meadows, and this is for you.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਨਿਸ਼ਾਨ ਹੈ ਸਕੂਲ ਵਾਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ
And now I'm going to play the second clip.
Before we ask the Broad Meadows students if they have any questions, Jennifer, would you stand for a moment, please? Yesterday, what did you do yesterday when you were researching the bonded labor issue? Why don't you explain to Iqbal what you did yesterday in terms of taking an action?
I typed up letters to the senators of all across America, say that you shouldn't be doing these things in Pakistan, and that we wanted them to vote right for in gap that night.
And Amanda, you want to add to that? Amanda also helped write these letters. Stand up for a minute, Amanda.
We stayed like an hour after school and typed up to senators that were going to be voting at 6 o'clock that night and told them that.
Okay, and now I'm going to play two clips from the movie Gunjal. This first clip is a dramatization. Obviously, it's a film, and it's going to be showing how the character Irfan ended up in this sort of situation of child labor.
अपने खड्डियां दे अड्डे ते ले जा तेरे काम भी आ जाएगा ते नाले वल भी सीख लेगा इसी तरह साडा कर्जा भी लथ जाएगा
किन्ने पैसे चाहिए ने
ओ
मैं ले आया सी 6000 ए रख ले शाबाश शाबाश छेती हाथ चलाओ
पार्षद
लो जी आज बिस्मिल्लाह हो जाएगी ले भी पुत्र ध्यान नाल काम सीखना ते अपनी मां दे दुख मंडाने ने
ठीक है चाचा
तो चाचा नहीं उस्ताद
ठीक है उस्ताद जी
आजा शाबाश बैठ जा अड्डे ते फाड़ अपना औजार
All right. And this second clip is showing how Iqbal, and in this movie, the character Irfan eventually got into this child labor activism.
मैं सारे मਜ਼ਦੂਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਬਾਰਕਬਾਦ ਦੇਣਾ। ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਡਰ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਿਖ ਜਾਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦੀ ਮੋਟਰਸਾਈਕਲ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਪਾਲਤੂ ਜਾਨਵਰ ਨਹੀਂ। ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਅਕਲ ਹੈ, ਦਿਮਾਗ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਤਾਲੀਮ ਹੈ, ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੱਕ ਹੈ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਜਾਹਲ ਰੱਖਣ ਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਹੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ। ਤੇ ਹਲੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੰਮ ਮੁੱਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਸਾਰੇ ਮਜ਼ਦੂਰ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਕੂਲੇ ਪੜਾਵਾਂਗੇ।
T for tap. Tap मायने C for
एजाजुल्ला साहब आपको बुला रहे हैं।
आओ मेहर, आओ। देखो हमारा नया स्टूडेंट।
इरफान, फैमिली मान गई इसकी?
हाँ, उसने तो मान नहीं था, लेकिन मेरा ख्याल है कि इसे क्लास में बैठाने से पहले कुछ हफ्ते अपने साथ रखो और देखो कि इसका एप्टीट्यूड लेवल क्या है।
जी सर। मेरा नाम मेहर है।
सलाम मेहर बाजी।
पाकिस्तान पीपल्स पार्टी को मौजूदा इलेक्शंस में बर्तरी हासिल हो गई है। बेनजीर भुट्टो की पार्टी ने इलेक्शन में कौमी असेंबली की 99 नशिस्तों पे कामयाबी हासिल की है, जबकि उनके मध्य
इरफान, बड़े होके आर्टिस्ट तो नहीं बनना?
आर्टिस्ट?
वही जो तस्वीरें बनाते हैं।
शायद वही बन जाऊं। और आप?
वजीर आजम, बेनजीर भुट्टो की तरह। और पहले दिन ही मुल्क के सारे बच्चों के लिए मुफ्त तालीम का ऐलान कर दूंगी।
आप वजीर आजम बनेंगी तो मैं सदर बन जाऊंगा। दोस्ती तो है ही हमारी, मिल के बच्चों को पढ़ाएंगे।
पर क्रिश्चियंस नहीं बन सकते।
तो फिर हम बराबर तो नहीं हुए। कोई बात नहीं, मैं अपने हक के लिए लड़ूंगा। क्योंकि सानू सिर्फ वही पाकिस्तान मंजूर है।
All right. And that's all. Thank you.
I think the good thing is the movie is released now on OTT platform, and I'll share a link with everyone so you guys can watch it. And thank you so much from the classroom. I can see you guys have joined from your classroom. Hello, guys. So, and I think I would give it to Mr. Ron Adams to give us his feedback and reflect on Iqbal Masih's legacy and the film, because he has been working with me from the research phase. I reached out to him when I was in the beginning, this was just an idea. So Ron, thank you so much for being there throughout this whole process. Please go ahead and unmute yourself. I don't have privileges to unmute you anymore.
Looking into the boxes on the screen, I'm thinking of how much help each of you has been to our understanding of child labor, Iqbal Masih, and the solutions. What can people do? So I remember December 2nd, 1994, when Iqbal Masih visited Broad Meadows Middle School as an honorary student for the day. He was in my homeroom. I assigned him a schedule and a locker and a buddy, and Boston University provided the translator. Iqbal was in the United States to receive a Reebok Human Rights Award, which was being presented in nearby Boston. Iqbal was asked what sights would he like to see while he's in the United States, while he's in Massachusetts. And he surprised his hosts at Reebok by saying he wanted to attend a school for a day, not Disney World, but a school for a day with students his own age. He told Reebok that when he was chained to a loom from ages 4 to 10, he fantasized so much about being in a school and not being chained to a carpet loom. Pretending to be in school helped him survive child slavery. Iqbal wanted to attend a real school in Massachusetts to see if it was anything like the imaginary school he created in his mind while he was knotting carpets. Reebok informed us before his arrival that he was very small for his age due to years of malnutrition, hunched over a loom, lack of exercise, lack of sunshine, and we promised we would not stare at him. However, when he walked into my home base with his translator, the students and I did stare, and there was an audible gasp. We were shocked. He was middle school age, but he was the size of a kindergartner. And as you saw in the clip, when he sat in his assigned seat, his feet did not touch the floor. Iqbal told class after class about the horrors of his years as a child slave from age 4 to 10. He told how he escaped. He told how he then started speaking out against child labor. And he told us of the death threats he got for speaking out. I was not surprised when last period of the day that Iqbal was here, a group of 7th and 8th grade students approached Iqbal to tell him that students talked at lunch about him and about what they could do to help in his campaign to free children and put them into classrooms. The students told Iqbal they had decided that Broad Meadows students would promise to do something, big or small, every school year to help vulnerable children. I remember some students at Broad Meadows asking him, "Why are you returning to Pakistan with the death threats? Why don't you just stay here in the US where you can be safe?" And Iqbal's answer was, "I miss my mother." And there are many more children like me, he said, who need help becoming free. I want to be the Abraham Lincoln of Pakistan and free all children, and I have to go home to do that. Iqbal received his award in Boston a few days later, and he returned to Pakistan. I was shocked 4 months later when the nightly news told of Iqbal's murder. I was not surprised when Broad Meadows students asked the principal if they could use room 115 for a meeting to plan their response to Iqbal's murder. Again, the principal said yes. And during that meeting, several students came up with an idea to establish a school for Iqbal near his village in Pakistan. One of the first online fundraising campaigns was launched. Donations poured in. Senator Ted Kennedy, U.S. Ambassador Tom Simons, his wife Peggy, Massachusetts State Senator Paul Harold, who's a Broad Meadows graduate, by the way, Rick Roth of Amnesty International, and a Pakistani organization called Sudha teamed up with the Broad Meadows students through technology. And Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto welcomed the kids' campaign, and miraculously, a school for Iqbal opened in Pakistan a few years later. I was surprised when students voted not to retire once the Iqbal School opened. Instead of retiring, they voted to keep their promise and follow the School for Iqbal model to try to work with other schools to annually award a grant to one reputable NGO to fund into existence one sustainable educational project for some vulnerable children. That new campaign is called Operation Day's Work, or ODW for short. Thetford Academy in Thetford, Vermont co-founded ODW. Silver Lake Regional Middle School in Massachusetts is also an ODW member school. And since 1998, previous generations of ODW member students like Rita Wang and their annual Charity of the Year partners like Tanya and Catherine have successfully established or expanded an educational project in Haiti, Vietnam, El Salvador, India, Ethiopia, Nepal, Kenya, and many more. Former ODW grant recipients Tanya Weaver, Catherine Kidder, Len Morris, they are on the call or they may be joining the call. Hopefully each will say a few words. Nighat?
Thank you so much, Ron. Thank you, and for giving us the background, because you know more about Iqbal Masih than I do. I just know about him through my research and through you mostly, because the video that you provided us, it helped us so much in finding the proper actor. You guys can see the actor who is playing Iqbal Masih, though we have changed his name from Iqbal Masih to Irfan Masih for creative purpose. He's a little taller because there was no way we could find a tiny boy, like a good actor playing the role. So we had to rely on a tall guy. So, but he's a great actor and he played Iqbal Masih perfectly. And I would love for you guys to watch the film. It's available. I'll share the link, and it's going to be available soon on Amazon Prime in the United States and UK. And I would really like for you guys, thank you for you guys to say a few words about your experience. And Rita, I had a conversation with you over the email, and I emailed Thomas and Catherine and Tanya as well. We would love to hear from you. The students would love to hear from you guys, your experience, the kind of work that you are doing. We have just started, and it'll be wonderful. And Rita, if you want to go ahead, the floor is yours.
Sure. Going along with Mr. Adams' story of the original group of students and a school for Iqbal, what my start with Iqbal's experience is here I am, 37 years old, and I'm still crying. In third grade, when I was in third grade, that's when Iqbal had visited the school and that fundraiser had happened. And what many people don't know is that the outreach from these students came from the local elementary schools. They reached out to everybody. And so my own third grade class held a fundraiser for School for Iqbal, and that was my start. So went to Broad Meadows, joined the ODW campaign. I apologize. ODW has had a profound experience on my life and continue to have an experience on my life. I now have a 3-year-old that I hope to teach him to learn that he has a voice in advocating for others, and to be involved in lifelong learning. All right, get back into it, Rita. So I I I graduated from Broad Meadows and then brought ODW with me to high school. I graduated from North Quincy High. We started ODW with 5 students my freshman year, and by the time I graduated, we had 50 students that was involved with the organization. So I went to college hoping to save the world in my own way. Studied business, and my career trajectory has shifted quite a bit, but all with a lifelong learning thread. So where I am today, I'm currently at Babson College, working in their IT department around change management, teaching staff how to use different technologies to better do their jobs. But on my side, in my spare time, other being a parent and chasing a preschooler, I'm also involved with other organizations that help underserved students in college, and also still stay in touch with various people in my life. So, namely, Mr. Adams, who started as my language arts teacher and then mentor and now dear friend. So again, ODW has had such a profound experience and will continue to do so going forward. So really excited to see this film come to life.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rita, for your powerful, inspiring story and sharing with us and your humanity. And we need that, and we need this humbleness in the world. And as mothers, I can understand when we see our little kids and also think about the kids who are in bonded labor, we choke up. So I'm there. I have been there, and I have seen that, and it's difficult. And thank you so much for the work that you are doing. It's needed more than ever now. Thank you. Thank you, sharing. Thank you for sharing. And so we have next Thomas Simons, Mr. Thomas Simons, and he has served the United States, United States government during when Iqbal Masih rose to fame, popularity, and when I guess he was also murdered. Mr. Simon was the ambassador to United States ambassador to Pakistan, and we would love to hear your perspective on what was going on while you were there in Pakistan at the same time. And I don't remember as much. I was going to school, and it was not a big news, I guess, where I was growing up. I was growing up in the mountainous region, so I read about Iqbal Masih when I was in United States doing my master's. So please go ahead, Mr. Simons, and tell us share your inspiring story with us. And I know it has been a profound one.
Perseverance, and passed it on to other groups of students. We were, of course, terribly impressed with the mentoring and the catalytic role that Ron Adams played in this, and helping them organize their activities. I remember a trip to Washington to lobby Congress. And these are middle schoolers, so it's really an amazing story of American compassion, American perseverance, and American creativity. And I was proud to be able to encourage that. Peggy did most of it. Peggy was the one who really went around looking for the school for Iqbal in Kasur, in Punjab, that it was set up. We had a very lovely local partner, Fawad. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I'm not sure what's happened to the school. I'd love to hear anyone who could tell me about that. But for my part, as ambassador, while Peggy was working on the school, I was trying to help with the larger problem of child labor, which is not just textiles. I mean, it's very big in rugs. but it's also big in soccer balls and medical equipment. I mean, there are a number of fields where child labor is concentrated. And we tried to work with industry because child labor is most prevalent in small enterprises. And we discovered that the large firms are much more willing to do something about child labor because they can afford to, and put pressure on the smaller producers to do something about it. I was amazed and pleased that Reebok was involved because they're a big soccer ball producer. They're a big sports equipment producer. So it's a perfect charity for them because they're involved in the problem. And we worked also with Save the Children UK, which is kind of threw itself into it. We were in touch with a German firm which certifies rug production as not being made with child labor. They have labels that so a customer can tell by looking at these labels that it's not made with child labor. You're never sure how much progress you make on this. I mean, it's such a diffuse industry, but I was certainly out there publicizing it. I got in bad trouble one time with a group of lawyers before the Supreme Court, and one of them came after me for saying, you know, this is like American teenagers washing their cars on the weekend. And I must say, I kind of lost my temper, and it got reported in the press. So I was kind of proud of that too. But anyway, in short, I mean, we were inspired. The children, your students, and their successors really inspired a senior official and his wife to engage on this issue, and I hope it's kept up. I think the U.S. government, I hope, is still engaged, although I've been retired since 1998 and am sort of out of contact. But it's an inspiring story, and we were happy to be part of it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So to definitely, U.S. government has kept up a little bit of it. There's a annual award, non-monetary award given to a human rights activist in the name of Iqbal Masih. It is called Iqbal Masih Human Rights Award. So, and most of the credit goes to Ron Adams and his students for doing this in the United States. And we all of us would love to hear Peggy's perspective. And Thomas, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. I know you had a bigger role as a diplomat in Pakistan, and and I have seen so many pictures of Peggy going to the area and
really
interacting. Yes, interacting.
Send us some.
Yeah. If you can just take like 1 or 2 minutes and share your perspective of this.
I don't have much more to say. I about going to the area. It was always very hard, but on the other hand, visiting any of these schools in Pakistan in that area, it was they were so thrilled, you know, and I was always getting pictures taken of me just because I came, basically. So I probably had this simple role of being a representative of America that was interested in the cause.
No, but you helped search for that school too.
Yeah.
No.
That was all that mattered. Yeah.
We went driving around. But I also want to point out that we did visit Broad Meadows once, which was inspiring also, just to be there and see the consequences of his murder.
You know, thank you so much. Broad Meadows was such a wonderful bridge, even for me, to connect me to Iqbal Masih. I have been in the United States for the past 25 years, so I had no experience of seeing those areas in Pakistan, going to the school, the Iqbal Masih school. So I reached out to Ron Adams. and found him on internet and contacted the school board. They said he's retired, so somehow they gave me his email address. So when I emailed him, he's the kindest person. Thank you so much, Ron, for emailing back and for getting on board and believing in my project. Thank you. And thank you so much. And next we have Catherine. We would love to hear your perspective on the whole thing, especially you're working for children and child labor, trying to eradicate that problem from the world. Please tell us about your experience.
Thank you. This is so wonderful to be here. I'm so pleased to meet you all. Ron and I have been corresponding for years, and I've never laid eyes on you. So it's so nice to see all of you, and I can't wait to see this film. Thank you so much. Our project in India, we're funding 3 schools for preschool children, and they were founded about 26 years ago initially. More have been built since then. And the project started with village women who realized that the best way that they could improve the lot of people's lives in their villages was through education, and the best way to start was with the youngest children. So they thought the preschools would be a good way to do it. Initially, they just wanted safety because their children were home alone or with 4-year-olds taking care of 2-year-olds, so the mothers could go and break rocks or work in the fields or something. These areas are rural and way underserved, and most of the people that go to our schools are Dalits. They're untouchables, and they had no chance of advancement in any way except through education. So the schools, we work with a partner organization. They do all the work. All we do is fund them. It's entirely done locally, and it seems like the best way to do aid work. The schools take the children, and the teachers are local people too, and they've been trained. They're certified teachers, and they give these kids. Reed was talking about voice, children having voice. Every day they're in front of a group talking and performing, dancing, singing, reciting. They get so used to being in front of other people. They get health care. They're taught hygiene. And by the time they enter school, they're really prepared to learn. And the teachers give them the mindset that this is the only way that they're going to get out of poverty, is to be good students and to work hard. And the kids love it. They just eat it up. And now, 25 years on, we're finding our students are going to college and to trade school at a rate far exceeding their peers who didn't get the chance to go to school. And, they're starting families of their own, and they're responsible people. But it's not just themselves. It's spread throughout the whole village. So they see the teachers who are leaders in their villages, which women are not, especially if they're Dalits. And it's kind of rippled out the whole program. So it's been a fabulous program to work with. The people are so inspiring and so dedicated to what they're doing. So it was a perfect fit. ODW was great. And I loved working with the kids at ODW remotely, sending them reports and whatnot, and being a part of it. It was a real honor. So thank you all very much.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you for sharing your story. We thank you the work that you are doing. You are actually changing people's life one village at a time. So
thank you.
Thank you for inspiring us. We are inspired. And next we have Tanya. If you can say a little bit about your work that you are doing and your association with ODW, and we would love to hear your story. Thank you.
Sure. So you caught me in my car. I was picking up medical supplies and school supplies, and I didn't want to miss this. So I'm on the side of a road, and I'm so happy to be here and to listen to what you've put together with the video. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, what country are you in?
Sorry?
What country are you in?
I am right now in the States, believe it or not. Yes. So I've had the pleasure of meeting Ron and meeting some of the students up in Quincy, and also of being a partner with ODW a few times. This year, the kids are tackling building a drop-in center in the middle of nowhere, Zimbabwe, for children affected by AIDS so that they can have a place to study, to eat a good meal, and to get help with their creativity. We found that a lot of them are actually very, very talented, and they just have no way to express themselves. So they will have poetry and art and other things added on to this after-school help that they will get. So that is happening this year. We're super excited that ODW is taking that on. We'll be having a garden that the kids will learn how to be a part of. They will eat from that garden. They will take food from that garden home. We'll have chickens and goats for them as well as bees, so that we're helping provide for the family. That way the family never feels that they have to send these children off to work. We want to make sure that the entire family is taken care of. And I think that's one of the things that as an organization we've been very strict in doing, is in making sure that when we take care of the children, that their guardians also get care. So if the child is HIV positive and it just so happens that a parent is as well, let's provide medicine for the parent as well. We never ever want them to put that child in the position of either losing their food or losing their medicine because the parent needs it and the parent has to get to work. Golly, ODW has put chickens up in Kenya, which allowed for teachers to get paid. ODW has set up greenhouses so that girls who have finished high school, but they were raped, many of them when they were young, and now they have been in an orphanage where they're taking care of their children. And now that they're finishing school, they learn how to do farming in a greenhouse and outside of a greenhouse, and then they can leave with skills. And they don't have to leave an orphanage without a skill, without knowledge of how to take care of themselves and their children. ODW has just been great. They've been all about kids all around the world, and it's such an honor. It really is such an honor to work with you guys. And I can't wait to report back and let you know how our drop-in center is going.
Is the tagline still kids help themselves?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Tanya, for sharing that with us. And you are doing some amazing work. And all the applause for ODW. They've been amazing. I mean, the world survives because of some of these programs. Otherwise, it's just a chaotic place.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And I think we can open it up for questions if kids want to ask questions, and anybody just like that. We have 8 or 9 minutes left.
Yeah, Nighat Saiba, at some point, maybe a couple minutes for Ron.
Oh, I'm so happy you said Nighat Saiba.
A couple minutes for Ron, maybe a capsule summing up of an experience which continues to go on.
Well,
or maybe after the kids, I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to hear Ron speak about his experience. He's a great speaker.
Well,
doesn't look like he's willing.
I think I've been blessed.
Actually, he's far back, and we can't hear him properly.
Okay. Let's hear the kids.
Yeah, they have to come closer to the mic, probably.
Well, I'll be real short. I was blessed and cursed over my teaching career. Blessed in that I was able to stay at Broad Meadows Middle School for over 30 years. So there was some stability here in terms of consistency, in terms of social justice after school activism programs. Cursed in that I never got promoted. I always was a 7th grade teacher. I never got
You were too valuable. Oh, we lost him.
You're muted.
Yeah.
Probably we have to mute ourselves, so the focus will go to Ron.
Oh, how do you do that? Do you know how to do that?
Oh, you're not, he's not.
Yeah.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yes, good.
Well, well, it's been 30 years of absolute joy. Watching people walk into the classroom after school, like these 6 students surrounding me. They walked in today. It's Friday. There's a long weekend, Martin Luther King Day, no school Monday. These kids could be anywhere, and they're technically on vacation for 3 days, but they come on Fridays after school to try to change the world a little bit. And that is my inspiration. They want to change the world. They want to upset the status quo. And I'm very happy to witness it. And we provide them a classroom at Broad Meadows where they can team and dream and act and react. And that's basically my story. And the School for Iqbal it is still open, but it's become a government school now, so it's different. The students now wear uniforms. I do not know about tuition. I do not know the details about how much of a roadblock has been placed in that community in terms of students being able to afford to go there. I've seen recent photos. They wear uniforms, shirts and ties for the boys, skirts for the girls, and blouses. I think things have changed, but the building, it's still there. And they do have a Broad Meadows banner hanging in the office of the lead teacher there. So the story continues to be told at the School for Iqbal. But the school itself has, I think, been privatized. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, say your name, Jesse.
My name is Jesse Anderson. I started last year in 7th grade ODW. It's been fun. My name is Merrick, and I started in 6th grade.
My name is Harrison. I started this year.
Rookie.
My name is Caitlin, and I started back at the beginning of 6th grade.
My name is Woody. I'm in 10th grade right now, but I started in 8th.
My name is Mirajna. I'm in 10th grade, and I started in 7th grade.
Mr. Phelan?
So is this the?
You have not conceived.
Nope. Am I plugged in? And my name is Jim Phelan. This is my classroom, and this has been my great honor to take over the helm. So when I first started teaching, my very first teaching job was here at Broad Meadows in 1995, I think. And I worked with Ron on his team, but not with ODW. I was just lucky to know what the heck to do in a classroom, let alone after school. And then I taught here for about 10 years, and I left to go to a rival middle school in Quincy for about 15. And I came back a few years ago, and our principal was in charge of ODW. And then he went on to become principal of the local high school, and he came and asked if I would take over for him. And I said, oh, I don't know if I'm up to the task. So the first thing I did was I called Ron Adams and said, what do I do? And he's been kind of leading from behind the whole way. He's a silent but formidable force. And I think anybody online today can tell that in the absence of Iqbal himself, we've got Ron Adams here to really lead this charge. If anybody's inspiring, to me, it's him. And so, Rita, I'm one of you. I'm losing it right now, but I just get overwhelmed with gratitude to be part of something like this. I really hope and pray that the students that are part of this right now will never forget this. I wish there were more here to do it. When Ron talks about it's Friday and kids can do whatever they want, the last time we had a gathering like this, it was the Friday of winter vacation. And I thought I would need to entice students with a pizza party to get them to come and talk on the phone. But that really wasn't the case. They were so excited to deliver the news to Tanya that she was the grant recipient this year that they didn't need pizza. on a Friday before Christmas vacation. They just wanted to be the one to make the phone call and be able to talk to her on the phone. So this has been great. I'm so happy, Nighat, that you have done this. And thank you to Sultan for being the man behind the curtain. And thanks everybody for taking your time to be here. Zoom back out.
Jim, thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks to you and to your students for joining us and for keeping this Iqbal Masih's legacy, for keeping it going on for this long. And this requires kind of a commitment, and you are doing it currently. And of course, Ron Adams is the force behind all of these wonderful work, and I'm so glad to be able to know him. And thank you so much. I just am so inspired, and I have cried over this movie, and I have cried all of these things. Sometimes I feel like my tears have dried up because in the movie there's a scene when Iqbal Masih is murdered and his mom cries. His mom runs after the ambulance which is taking his body. So these are some of these moments that have made me so much cry, and also seeing him going through the excruciating treatments in the hand of his kind of the carpet guy. And I would love for you guys to watch this film and give your feedback. And you can write your feedback on IMDb, and that'll be a great thing for me as a filmmaker, as well as to have Iqbal Masih's message reach broader audience. And if you guys have questions, students, you can ask anyone of everybody, and you guys want to share something, please go ahead and share. We have a few more minutes, and we can stay a little longer for you guys if you want to, because we really want to hear what you guys have to say, because you guys are doing some amazing things. You guys are a part of a legacy, this club that you guys are running, ODW. It's like here for the past 30 years. It's in its own a wonderful thing.
Would anyone like to tell the folks in Zoomville what we're actually working on right now, the current fundraiser we're doing for Tanya's project? Anybody? Anybody?
Our current
Kat, you jumping in?
Yeah.
our current fundraiser right now is called Coins for a Cause. And
Unmute, Tom.
Yeah, I did.
these little bins.
Is it muted? Can you tell?
And it's where we put these little bins into each home base, and students can bring in like cash or coins and put them in the bin. And it's to help raise money for the Alpha Teen Center.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. Okay.
Bin, and the fundraiser is sadly going to end January 28th.
Is there a way to give funds online? Would you share a link?
Not yet.
Very soon we'll get
Great
there.
idea.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. And Ron, what do you think? Do you think we are top of the hour right now? Like it's 2:45. If we want to end, we can end here.
Yeah, I'll just take a last check with the students. Is anyone else want to say anything or ask anything?
No.
The link to the film.
How do we get to the film?
How do we get to the film?
And I am going to share a link. It's right now released on one OTT platform that is international, but it's more in Pakistan. But very soon the film is going to go on Amazon Prime. So I think Amazon Prime will be the better link for you to watch here in the United States. So I'll share that in a few days. And I have your email, and I emailed you a few days ago as well. And I'll send the link to the email addresses I have.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thanks to everyone.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. I'm so happy, so humbled. All of you came here and believed in the work, in the movie about Iqbal Masih. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to leave.
Thank you, Nighat.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.